Scott Brown here. Welcome to another exciting episode. Today is the Q&A. Well, we might as well start it off with the questions related to the DeWalt Cordless stuff because I've been using that lately and there were a lot of questions about it. What are your thoughts on the DeWalt Cordless extractor? When is Cameron starting a YouTube channel? Cameron.
Stop.
When are you starting a YouTube?
You gotta stop doing that to me.
When are you starting a YouTube channel?
I'm not. I'm gonna stay on Instagram.
Alright, okay. Jason from DeWalt was actually here just the other day and he came and picked it up. He said he can bring it back after a couple of days. I said, nah, that's all good. I'm happy to go back to the 10-inch DeWalt that I originally had. And my reason for that is not anything to do with how good or bad the saw is. It's a great saw. If you want a battery drop saw, that's a pretty good battery drop saw to buy, but I don't need a battery drop saw. That's what I realized after trying the Makita out and trying that DeWalt out. I prefer using my Festool vacuum cleaner, and that's power, so as soon as I plug that in, I might as well plug in a drop saw to it, and then I don't have to worry about turning the vacuum on remotely or turning it on before I make a cut. So I guess that answers the 100% cordless question. I'd say I'm probably 80% cordless. All my hand tools, you've seen them in my videos, my multi-tools, drills, skill saws, things like that, cordless, fantastic. But I'm gonna stick with power drop saws and table saws for now.
Fucking Russian suitcase or something, eh?
Click it on, depending on what hose you have.
Oh yeah.
So we got the thicker hose, 32, so we'll click it on that. Something to do with the clog control or something. And it's Bluetooth, obviously. Sold on Carpentry asks, hey bro, how would you compare the DeWalt cordless dust extractor with your Festool MIDI? I know the MIDI costs more, but is the DeWalt pretty good, mainly for jib dust? Sure, my bro. Yeah, I would go with the Festool. We had a few problems with that DeWalt dust extractor. The alarm went off a lot. Basically, it detects blockage and then the alarm goes off to tell you that it's blocked, so you have to empty it. The alarm would go off, we'd pull it apart, and then there wouldn't even be anything blocking the hose. And maybe the one we had been beaten up a little bit. And when I looked up the price of the DeWalt dust extractor, it was over $1,000 New Zealand dollars. And that's only a couple of $100 off the Festool, so I would go with the Festool. Dobby96 asks, would you consider a new van like Cameron's, or are you sticking with the style you have? Cameron's van's awesome, and when I first saw it, straight away I was like, oh yeah, that's my future, that's what I'm getting. Since then I've learned to appreciate the size of my van just for parking, and here in Auckland, wherever you live needs to have a garage or somewhere safe to park your van. The higher your van, the more difficult that search is, so I'm happy with the style of van I have, but Cameron's van is awesome. Harry McCo asks, do you ever buy Milwaukee tools? I bought one Milwaukee tool. This one here. It's a rivet gun. It's a great rivet gun. Again, speaking of Cameron, he let me borrow his one. He has the same rivet gun, and I liked it so much that I got one for myself. So I've officially got a Milwaukee tool now. It's only the 12 volt, but I've seen some of their 12 volt tools and they look pretty cool, so who knows, maybe I'll add to the collection. Oshin Craig asks, my Q&A question is, what is your favorite tool at the minute and why? Love your vids, by the way. Maybe the rivet gun. Nah, I don't use that enough. The track saw is probably still my favorite, just because it gets such clean cuts and it's very versatile. I really like the track saw. Just yesterday I was trimming a door with that track saw and it reminded me, super clean cut, all I had to do was paint the bottom of it and then I could rehang it and it was brand new. Michael Archer asks, if you were stranded on a desert island and with you was a toolbox, inside only 3 tools, what would they be and why? Probably a series of saws. Something that I could, or chisels, something I could use to shape the trees or something with and make a raft and get the hell out of there, basically. Geordie Beaston Gaming asks, instead of videos every so often, would you do a daily vlog? I'd love to, but because what I'm filming is me and my carpentry business, I still need time to work on that carpentry business. So when I'm not editing videos or coming up with video ideas, or I'm planning the work that we're doing or trying to get work, or doing invoicing or a lot of the business related stuff. So I still need time to do that. Plus I have a girlfriend, and I don't know how long she would tolerate me editing every single day. So no daily vlogs. And the second part of his question was, Cameron, I'd love to know how much you've spent on tools. I'll let Cameron answer that one.
Yeah, see, that kind of information I'm not going to give out on camera because my wife will kill me.
Yeah. Hey Scott, love your videos, bud. What kind of camera do you use? Greetings from Georgia, USA. I use Canon 80D. That's a good camera, good entry-level DSLR. You don't necessarily need a camera like this. My mate Rob, his entire YouTube channel is filmed on his phone, and he's doing great. So if you want to get into this, I assume people who ask that question want to maybe do their own videos. Just use whatever you have and maybe upgrade as you can. That's what I've done. That's how I eventually got to this camera. Andy Zavoina asks, do your customers ever object to you filming their projects or believe it will slow it down, possibly costing them more in time to finish it and more money because you're on site longer? It's one of the first things I get out when I meet new customers. Can I film? You know, I tell them about the channel and I ask them if they're cool with me filming the work I do, and everyone said yes so far. I'm pretty open about the time it takes me to film, and I take it off the invoices, or I take the cost on. But if somebody were to say no, we don't want you to film them, I would totally respect that because we are working inside people's houses. James L asks, how many hours per week do you spend editing? Heaps of late nights. Yeah, each video is probably about 5 hours editing. I've got it down to like 3 hours at the best. Again, the more you do it, the more efficient you get, so I'm still working on that. The problem is, as I do more videos, I want to try newer things, so I'm continually trying things that I'm not that good at, which makes the videos better, but it doesn't bring that editing time down at all. But that's the fun part. Michael Leonard asks, did you ever think about going into management or doing an office-based construction job? And why? Definitely not. I like the physical, creative side of what I do, and I have to do the office side because I'm running a business. To have a job that was purely that, yeah, it's not me. Ben Rogers asks, would you ever want to take on an apprentice? If not, how come? Maybe if we had a project that was big enough, and currently our projects are not. They're 2 to 3 days at a time, sometimes a couple of weeks. But if we have a big project, then yeah, maybe I would revisit that. Michael Drexler, I get the sense you are happy doing what you are doing at the moment. What would be the next step in expanding the business? I've always been motivated by the type of projects we're doing. This floating shelf thing that we're doing at the moment and the plywood panels, I like doing interesting jobs like that. So if I got like a large, interesting renovation, that would be an ideal way to expand the business. But yeah, that's what motivates me. Things that are cool and interesting to work on, and also cool and interesting to film. Doug Saunders asked, who is going to win the Rugby World Cup? I hope New Zealand, the All Blacks. I hope the All Blacks win. I've grown up watching the All Blacks. I've already got the on-demand thing on my phone, so I'll be watching that over the next couple of months. The wee Scott, my cue for Q&A would be, what brought you to sunny Scotland? How long were you here, and where other than Edinburgh did you work? I've touched on this in previous episodes. My parents grew up in Edinburgh. Most of my family's in Scotland, and I was born there. So I was kind of going back, if anything. I really enjoyed it. It was awesome. I was there. I first went back in 2012, and I was there for a couple of years, traveled around, came back, went back again with my girlfriend. We lived over in Edinburgh, so we've been back and forth. I also went to the Isle of Wight as well. I was there probably 3 months total, working on this seaside cottage thing with a thatch roof. It was really interesting work. Ewan Feeney asks, where do you prefer working in New Zealand or Scotland? And would you ever come back to work in Scotland? Love to come back to work in Scotland. There's different positives for both. I started my career in New Zealand, so I've got all the different contacts here. I like being outdoors, and a lot of building work here is based outdoors. Over in Scotland, there's a lot more traditional buildings. It's very interesting seeing how those buildings get put together over there. So if there are any exciting projects, yeah, hit me up. I'd love to go back. A lot of the questions were about Paito's shed. The Naki Navy asks, how is Paito's shed coming along? I think we only saw the floor go in.
That's it.
Woo!
Thanks, Scott. Bloody legend, mate.
I think it's going good. As far as I know, he's got most of the cedar weatherboards on, so it's starting to look like a a cabin now. So I hope that answers a few of your questions. Obviously I couldn't answer all of them, and maybe we'll do this again. Thanks for watching this exciting episode. Look forward to seeing you on the next one. Alright Jess, we're done.
2 thumbs up.
Should we leave?
Got Brown Carpentry.
Absolutely.
This is not a flattering angle.
I love you. Alright.